Good evening, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. League of Inches live show, Tuesday night live. We are back. Massive show plan, which I am very keen to rip into. I don't know if you guys can smell that in the air, but that is Origin just around the corner, which just seems to give me a little bit of a tingle in the plums. I feel it right down in there, and I'm very, very keen to rip into this one. We're going to choose our teams, basically. Need your help doing so, which is, as always, need you all to get involved. Love how much you've all been getting involved with these shows the last few weeks as we've gone. Quickly, bit of like the little housekeeping that we always sort of do. So there is a giveaway at the moment on the page. You will have noticed that one. So thanks to Jack Conley Real Estate. It's probably the easiest giveaway we've ever done, and it's a really, really good prize. So all you do is follow both pages on Instagram. It's an Instagram-only post as well, or giveaway, and tag the three mates you'll be taking. So this one, don't forget, the Broncos versus Titans game at Suncorp Stadium, Saturday the 7th of June at 7:35 p.m. It's 4 times silver member seats, so really good quality seats, great spot to watch the footy at. Their own exclusive bar there as well, so you'll be looked after there all night. So it's a really good spot to watch the footy at. Even if you're not one of the fans of those two games, I honestly reckon it's a great night out for you and the boys, you and the missus, you and a double date, whatever it is. Get your tickets for those, and it's free. It's put on by us and obviously Jack Conley there. So really appreciate that out there. And again, thanks to TC Coolers with the coolers. Give a few of those away tonight. Been a bit lazy. We've had other things to do and giveaways and magic round and stuff. So we'll get back into doing that tonight. So I'll be keeping an eye on the comments section. Bonus 5 entries will be given away tonight for the this giveaway as well. So all I want people to do is get involved with the comment section, and I'll be choosing at random a comment that will win the 5 entries. So literally, please, all you have to do is get involved throughout the night. Give us your say, and you could potentially win the prize for that giveaway. Well, boys, I'm back now. I'll be honest with everyone. I was very flat last week. It's taken me basically a week to get over Magic Round, and I didn't even have a big one. It was just more the big days, the late nights, and I was so flat. I'm finally feeling myself again, feeling it great. So it's great to be here. Let's go to Trav. Hey, how's things, mate? And get right into rip and tear. What caught your eye this week?
Are we going straight away? Going really well. Looking forward to the show. Been looking forward to this one for a good week now. That and at least the last couple of days since I figured what might be on the agenda. Hello, everybody. What caught my eye? Here's a little stat for you, Mike. What caught my eye is simply, is our game being officiated anymore? Like, where are the refs? There's no such thing as them anymore. 1,498 days and 110 rounds of footy was it's been since we have not had a sin bin. And last weekend was the first week in that amount of time that there has not been a sin bin. 2021 round 4 was the last time there was not a sin bin. How funny is that? There you go. No, I don't think they give two shits about anything that we say and everyone says. So no, they haven't. But you go from 4 weeks ago saying there's a crackdown to 2 weeks later going we're back flipping to now nothing. So here we go.
All over the shop. Jake, what caught your eye this week? And welcome back.
Oh, no, I'm doing all right. Thanks, mate. Yeah, no, I'm doing good. What caught my eye, and I don't know if anybody saw this on Triple M, Nathan Hindmarsh was found dead.
What?
He wasn't actually. He there was a report coming up that Nathan Hindmarsh had been found dead, and he didn't know about it. And he said he was like reading, and he came across it, and he just wanted to share with everyone. So Nathan Hindmarsh unfortunately was found dead. It's not real. He's actually still alive, but I just thought that was really funny.
I was about to get pissed off. I was like, hang on a second. Is this fool really going this way? No, this is so morbid. And then after 2 weeks ago, when he pulls out the, what is it? The Lady
Katy
Gaga
Perry went to space. Katy Perry went to space.
And then he starts pulling this rubbish. Oh, Jake.
Well done, Jake.
You know-
Keep it up.
You caught my eye. You never know what you're going to get.
Oh wow. I had something really good for this week, and I've completely forgotten what it was that I wanted to speak about that caught my eye this week. It's been a flat out last couple of hours getting another podcast done, getting dinner, getting everything organized. I've completely forgotten what my good one was going to be. So just trying to think of one on the spot.
Quality listening for our viewers, everybody. Here we go.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
Watching a man think for 5 minutes.
Basically, that's what it's going to take for me because I'm losing it at the moment, absolutely losing it. I will just say what's caught my eye this week, and we're going to dive into it very, very shortly, is how quickly the game can change. Like how far a week in rugby league is. Like there was one last week we were talking about teams struggling. There's a big win, and the comebacks happen all during the weekend. And half time of the Canberra game, I'm sitting there going, the Raiders are a dead set premiership. They'll win the comp. But there were basically, then the game finishes, you're thinking, can the Raiders make the 8? Like it's been a very crazy, crazy weekend of football. And obviously I don't even want to talk about it because he's arrogantly put the skyline as his status or something. But we obviously saw what that side did to the poor West Tigers, which I felt sorry for because they would have done that to almost any other team in the competition. I feel like at the time, Darian, you're getting some. So what was that?
I said it was due. I feel like the Storm have been due for a performance like that for a little while now, and it just had to happen at some point.
Yeah, Darian, you're getting some great questions in. We're about to tackle some of those. We're actually going to answer both your questions in the next 10 or 15 minutes as we go on, because both of them are part of our talking points tonight. So I don't think we're being rude or anything. I've noticed them, and I do know that they're in our talking points tonight. But keep those questions coming, guys, because if they don't fit into what we're talking about, we obviously do star them, and you'll go in the draw to win those 5 tickets to that Broncos v Titans game as well. Thank you to Vitalman Supplements. The code word once again, guys, is inches to secure yourself 10% off your purchase there for all your supplement needs. It's great quality products. Gives that a little bit of a oomph. I mean, if you want to get off those energy drinks, coffees, things like that, this is a great way to do that in a healthy way of doing so. You also help give back to the page a little bit as well, which is an awesome way to do things and help us out as well, and help encourage these sponsors to come on board more and give back to both them and us and to yourselves. This is obviously for your health as well. Let's talk about, did the Latrell try sit well with you? So obviously the final whistle has just been blown in the hooter, in the background. Latrell sort of went onto that knee. The Broncos players, instead of like going up to him and basically hugging him like we see most of the time, just sort of turned around and just gave up, just said that was it. Game, we're frustrated, move on. Latrell looks around and goes, oh, hang on, I got an open passage basically to the try line and scores. So do we agree? I will go to Trav first because me and Jake did touch on this earlier for our review show at the start of the week, which I thank everyone for jumping on. And I've noticed a lot of comments on YouTube starting to filter through for that podcast, which we're really thankful for. Thanks for everyone getting involved with that. But Trav, what are your thoughts with the Latrell try? Fair play or doesn't sit well with you?
Yeah, look, this is going to be a boring take. I'm sorry, everybody, but I've had a few arguments in some comments and some different groups and things around different podmasters, and I don't have a problem with it. And until there's no point score, no point differential as a problem with as a ladder differential. Play till the whistle goes. As simple as that. Nothing wrong with it. Latrell went down. I don't think Latrell was overly intending on going for the try. And then he sat there and went, well, hang on, they've all turned their backs and stopped. I'm running in. So here we go. So yeah, I've got absolutely no problem with it. But on a side note to that, we don't play a gentleman's game. So everyone's sitting there talking around that this is, unsportsmanlike and that NRL's not a gentleman's game. If you want to follow a gentleman's game, go and follow golf. Go and watch tennis. Go and do those sports that are gentlemen's games where you have to follow etiquette. I love playing golf. I'm going to be fair, but yeah, if you're going to do that, go to those sports. This is gladiators fighting till the death, basically, and the death for in these cases is the whistle. Simple as that. Fair play to me. I have no problems with it.
Jakey, well, I'll throw to you in one sec. Just quickly, Daniel's come in. Huge news, apparently. A rumor mill live on air. I'll read that out to everyone. Galvin to the Dogs to play 13 and Katoa to play 7. Two of the best young talents in the game, both going to the Dogs. That would be absolutely huge if true. We'll get on the blower after this and get to some of our sources and see if we can find any truth to those rumors, because that is massive. And I know Feel Good obviously did a little post last night hinting at some big things happening behind the scenes. Who knows if that is what he's talking about, but I do agree with some of these comments. I think that rumor could be very far-fetched. He could be sitting there in his garage and who knows what's happening there. Jakey boy, talk to us. Latrell Mitchell, dog act, play on.
Well, I'll start off by saying I fully agree with Trav. I think that until the ref blows the whistle, you play on. You're taught from being a kid, play the whistle. That's what you get taught. I'll say this as if I was in that game, right? If I'm Latrell Mitchell, I'm sitting there and I've gone down on one knee to surrender, and I see instead of the other team coming to do the big hug and whatever they do, to stop the game kind of thing. If I see them turn around, I'm doing the same thing. If I'm down on one knee and I'm that close to the line and the other team turns around and isn't paying attention and the ref has not blown that whistle, I would absolutely have done the same thing. I'll say this. If somebody had come and absolutely put a shot on him, I'm just looking at Adam's put a comment here. It says, if a player had put a massive hit on a surrendering Latrell, how would you be looking at this situation? Now, guess what? Now that he's done this, fair play.
Vulnerable.
Let him.
You're vulnerable.
Yeah. Now that he's done this, it's fair play. If he goes down and surrenders and someone absolutely smashes it, the ref never called surrender. No one said they couldn't do that. They just chose not to. I'm sorry, but that is how it is. And now that he has done this, it's absolutely fair play. I'll say this: if a player, and I know Joe Mundy did this a while back, if you fake a cramp or fake an injury and then you run and score, I think that's on the grubby side. I think that's pretty rubbish, to be honest with you, because people will stop. People will stop for your concern and stuff like that. This isn't the case. This is an absolute. It's. I don't think it is bad for the game. I think that this is a perfect example of play to the whistle. They didn't have to smash him. They could have gone and just put a hand on him and he's done, but they didn't.
Yeah,
that's on them.
Right.
I'm a bit perplexed why so much of this has been heated back onto Latrell and saying it's a dog move, things like that. There's been hardly anything
you really
spoken
perplexed?
about.
Are you really perplexed?
Well, I know what you're hinting at there, and not really, because there is a lot of people out there that just flatly, if Latrell's involved, will call it out. They just hate anything he does and calls him out. But I can't believe there's not more being said about the Broncos. The fact that at least you just turned around and just gave up and just that's a first grade football team, for crying out loud. Yes, he maybe went on his knee, but we've seen every other time, the opposition will come up and just jog up and just quickly hug the guy, basically. They didn't even do that. So, what's Latrell supposed to do? Just sit there for a while? The game's not going to end while he's doing that. They need to have a defender touch him to finish the game off, which wasn't happening. So, I get people are going, if someone came and smashed him, blah, 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 but he didn't go ahead and do this, in my opinion, deliberately. The Broncos turned their back on him and the try line was right there. Of course, any player in their right mind, I would do it. Would score a try and go, how good, celebrate it, rub it in their face, see you later. The Broncos, for mine, should be copying it more post this for literally turning around and give, as I said to you, Jake, on Sunday night, imagine now if the Broncos miss the finals because they're level on points and their points differentials by 5 or something. And because of that try that they missed the finals. What a piss poor effort that is. And obviously we're going to talk about the Broncos soon. There's so much pressure on them, but that, for mine, is the bigger talking point out of that play than Latrell doing what Latrell did.
I couldn't agree with you.
Yeah, I agree. Sorry, Trav, you go. But I was just going to say I agree.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree with you more. This is an agenda-driven situation. This is all it is. It's just because of the one dude that's done it is the reason why this is being called out. And it's the only reason why the word grub is being used is because that's how people deem Mitchell. Now, I've given Mitchell a good spray a few times in this podcast last year. Like, Mitchell's done some really stupid things. Let's be fair. But I have absolutely no problem with what he did there. None. And I don't care that it's him, and I don't run an agenda of that he's a grub. Absolute fair play. And to me, and to be fair, this is just full-blown unconscious bias. Literally all it is a bias towards a dude who's done a play, and that's why it's called that way. And I think one of the comments before said that exactly and the point that I'm saying here is that if it was anyone else, most people would be having a laugh and going, yeah, well played. But because it's him and because of his track record, where it's a different situation. Jake, you've touched on it really nicely in terms of, so if someone comes through now and hits him while he's on the ground, look, and to be fair, it's fair play, 100%. But no one's going to do that. When the dude's on the ground, no one's going to go and belt him. Like, that's just not going to happen.
I mean not on the ground. I more mean like if he surrenders and he's taking a knee and no one has actually hit, they have to touch him before kind of it's properly a surrender. If he's at one knee, I have no issue right now. If I have no issue at all if someone comes in, as long as they hit below the shoulders, fair tackle. If they smash him, yeah, fair enough. Can't trust him. But I don't, I think it's fine.
Yeah, I agree. Anyway, that's a whole nother thing that's going to happen one day. But yeah. Anyway,
we'll talk about that when it happens. We'll let that happen then.
And there was a comment about it before, and it took away from the field goal as well. Like, that's just because of going off. But that field goal by Latrell is one of the best field goals I've seen. Like, in the conditions, what was happening, the fact that it caught so many by surprise, and he just sort of seemed so casual about it and hit it so well. He could have almost kicked it from 55 out. Like, the ball was sailing over, and it could have gone another few meters behind him, and he still would have got that. Absolutely sensational. So fair play to Latrell. Another moment where they were crying out for a big game player to do a big moment, and it was Latrell that once again stood up for his team in a depleted South Sydney team, it must be said as well, and beat a much more fancied Broncos outfit who were below par. Talking about the Broncos, there is a couple of things to talk about with the Broncos at the moment. They're obviously in the spotlight a lot, and probably fair play, I feel like, for a lot of it. Let's attack to start with. Let's attack the whole... this is Trav's favourite topic, everyone, and I know how much he's very excited to talk about this one, and there was a comment just before about it. Ezra Mam has now been back into this team. He's been named to start at 6 this week. Good luck to him in terms of the football side of things and how he performs on the weekend. Yeah, blah, 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 whatever. I am absolutely filthy, though, at the fact that he's in a position to even be pulling on the boots at the moment to be playing first-grade football for the Brisbane Broncos, representing the game, representing his team, representing his club, all that sort of jazz. I just cannot believe we are in this predicament, and we all knew it was coming when it was handed down, but that, like, now it's round 11. He had one game in Queensland Cup. Apparently he actually played half decent in it, so good on him. But it just does not sit well with me. And I found it interesting. I listened to a bit of the Bloke podcast yesterday. Denon Kemp, who's a massive, massive Broncos fan, was really pushing the agenda of Billy Walters being 5'8" for the next few weeks, and it seems to suit the Broncos more. So it felt like even he was going down that path of, this isn't a good idea to have Mam in this situation at the moment, or the club. Like, let's just go somewhere else and avoid this whole situation, which I agree with. It just doesn't sit well that obviously what has happened. I just don't get, and I don't like the fact we are in now this position. He should have been gone for the year. That's all I'll say on that, Matt. He should have been gone for the year. And whether Adam here mentions man went to court as a man. The court is what you have an issue with. And that's fair enough. But it also, and 360 actually raised this tonight. It was a small part that I did get to watch. This is where the game needs to remember. They're in charge of themselves. They're in charge of the way the game looks and how it's perceived to others. This just is not a good look. Like, you talk about putting the game into disrepute and things like that. This was a whole nother level of that meaning. Like, whether the courts decided to not charge him as harshly as they did. We obviously had Jason on at the time, and once he realised a few of the things that happened in that case, and that he was perplexed at what the sentencing was for Ezra Mam as well. Don't forget, and that's a guy that knows his stuff and not an average day puncher like us, but yeah, it knows the legal system inside out. The NRL needed to step up. I just feel like at the moment, boys, it's just in a very ugly situation.
Yeah, I actually do agree with what Adam said in the sense that I do have an issue with the NRL and the Queensland courts. That's true. I do. You're absolutely right. We're also talking about the NRL, like you just said, Joel. So the courts ruled what they ruled, whatever, move on from that. In an NRL standpoint, they had the opportunity to really put on a harsh sentence if that's what they chose to do. That was their opportunity to really take a stand, and they never do. It just feels like they never do. There's always incidents, and these things happen, and they just never take the stand that they need to take on them. So he's back after what, 10 weeks? Or was it 12 weeks or something? I don't know. It was, tell you, what are we going to round, 11? I don't know. 10 weeks. He's back after 10 weeks pretty much. And yeah, got there eventually. But the gist is, you're right. I'm not happy with the NRL because they should be taking a harder stance on these things. I hate it completely. That's a fair point, and it's just the truth.
Yeah. Trav, I know how much you love this topic. I know you don't want to give this guy any more airtime. Do you have anything you want to say before we move on to the actual Broncos and the bigger picture there?
Look, I second everything and everyone's thoughts, and I've spoken about this to the absolute nth degree around what we think he should have. To be fair, in my opinion, he should not be allowed on a rugby league field. I've said that from day one. I said that cryptically before the sentencing came in as to what I thought if the sentencing came through. I said it when it came through, and I said it when Jason came on and did such a good job for us to talk about it. I'm very, very strong with the fact of what I think should have happened. But that's the point, right? The point is it should have happened. It could have happened, but it didn't. And this is what we're all pissed off about. But at the end of the day, he's able to come back because that's the way this is gone. So, like, as pissed off as we're going to be, this is what it is. Like, we all knew it was going to come back. And I'm going to say, I'm going to play a little bit of devil's advocate here, but I'm very clear. That I'm in the camp of he should not be playing again. But a little bit of devil's advocate is I think they should actually, and the timing of this has actually worked out really well for him. So in my opinion, it's not even halfway through the year yet. We're about to go into Origin. So he can go and play 1 week. I think they go into a bye next week. So then it's quiet. Then there's Origin period. So then we're all talking about the Origin. We've got the buzz of the Origin. So whilst everything that's going to happen to Mam's going to happen, it's also going to be surrounded by the Origin feel and what's happening here. So to be fair, the Broncos have done a good job by playing him in there or bringing him in terms of the timing. Do you do this at the last or towards the end of the year and they make finals? I think that becomes a major distraction and they don't want that. So I think in that aspect, it's fine. Does he play if there wasn't a Ben Hunt injury? No, I don't think so. I think I think Billy Walters and Pakes have been doing a really good job. I think Moses back now. So I thought he had that 9 spot ready to go too. Before he got injured, that was his spot. Ben Hunt and Reynolds were doing okay. Not great. Obviously, they've lost 4 out of 5, but they're doing okay in the half. So no, I don't think he does. But, at the end of the day, he's got talent. You got to pick your talent. So he's been training. It's not like he's been banned and he wasn't allowed to be around the club or do anything. He's been there. He's been training. He just hasn't played because he's been suspended. So, yeah, at the end of the day, that's where it is. That's all I want to talk about it.
Well done, Bakes. That's a brilliant score. We'll be talking about our scores tomorrow night on our Supercoach podcast as well. But I'm very happy. But your score makes mine look pretty weak, and it makes me not as excited as about talking about my score. So thanks for that. But look, the last thing I'll say on this, and it's something I actually feel like the Broncos as a club have gotten away with because of the timing about when it all happened and how they handled it all and the timing of releasing the punishment that they had for Ezra, things like that. I think the club handled this really poor. And they were very strategic about this. They tried to protect Ezra Mam a lot, which I don't think he deserved any protection at all. They issued the club fines and suspensions and stuff after all the head media and that went on holidays. They were very smart about it all. And I just think they were very sly about how they did this. And it wasn't the right look for the game. It wasn't the right look to for fans of the game itself and to promote the game. It just doesn't sit well with me. I think it's been handled very, very poorly by the club. And there's no surprise now as we go into the Broncos that it's sort of now all coming together, because we look at the Broncos boys, and I know so many people are talking about them at the moment. They're not happy with how they're playing. They're saying things aren't seeming right. The partnership, the partnership is sort of not quite working between Madge and the Broncos early on. I don't think anyone thought that could be a quick fix, but he's obviously there to do a really hard stance, which I remember we've all spoken about in the preseason, said that was the big thing. Is that going to work? And is there players at the moment there that will buy into that? Early on in the preseason, it looked like it was. As the season has started, it looks like it's sort of going downhill a little bit, and it's just not quite where it needs to be. Trav, can you put a pinpoint on where the Broncos are currently at with yourself? Is it worrying signs for you? Is it panic stations, or is it sort of for mine, it kind of has to be going towards that way, because look at some of their losses lately. Like, it's just not where that club should be. There should be a guaranteed top 4 team, and at the moment, they're simply not.
Yeah, it's funny, it goes on towards what you said at the start of this podcast and what caught your eye, the ebbs and flows and how quick things change, eh? Like going into the season, and the way that the Broncos dominated preseason and the way that they then go and belt the Roosters 50-14 in round 1. And we're all sitting there going, holy moly, have a look at these Broncos. Madge's mate is the godsend to that club, and he's changed everything, and he's the Messiah. And yeah, and now have a look. Like, they've lost 4 out of 5. They're playing poor, and what's even worse is that they gave up that lead on the weekend and lost to the Rabbitohs, who are half a team at the moment. Even with Latrell back last week, it's still half a team. And some of the guys like Campbell Graham and that are still trying to recover from being out for so long and still trying to figure that out. Like, yeah, I can't actually pinpoint what it is. I need to analyze it a bit more. I don't think it's Madge, but I think what we need to do is really realize that Madge actually got sacked from 2 clubs before he got this job. And Madge goes and has one good year with Origin, and everyone thinks Madge is different. And now we're going to make a big change. So I think there's a bit of, this is a bit all over the shop, unfortunately. But yeah, I think we've got to look at that a little bit more deftly, which is kind of what you're talking about. Yeah. I think the Broncos are in a bit of trouble. Not only are they in trouble now, but they're in trouble in the future. They're in trouble with their salary cap. They're in trouble with injury potentials, and I think they're in it. I think it is panic stations, but in about a week's time when they lose again this week.
Jake, I know you look like you're about to explode.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm not about to explode. This is an interesting one, because I know you just mentioned he's sort of been let go. Or he didn't let go of 2 clubs. Is interesting. He has succeeded with teams where he's been given talent immediately. He obviously didn't do any good at the Tigers, but he didn't have anything to work with either. So like the Rabbitohs, he's obviously won a comp with the Rabbitohs. He was given talent there. That team was stacked. He should have won the comp then. There was almost no excuse for him to not win the comp there. I almost feel like it's pretty similar with the Broncos. He should be showing us, or they should be showing us more than what they are, in the sense that he's been given this side that's just packed with talent, right? Like, you look through that, and on paper, they should be a top, like you said, a top 4 side. It's a very difficult thing. You're going through the teams, like the games that they've played recently. I was at Magic Round, watched them versus the Panthers. They look like a shell of what they looked like at the start of this season against the Panthers. I don't know if I can consider that last one the same. Like, we just talked about the fairness or unfairness of them sort of switching off or whatever. If you don't consider that and the game had surrendered, they win, right? So I understand that they didn't win, and it's not on the record as a win. I'm going to clarify that first of all. But that means that they've got it in them to win, if that makes sense. Like, they have that game in them that they would have won that and then go from there. They've got Reece Walsh to come back. Selwyn Cobber to push back out to add on to the wing to add strike. You've got Moser, like you said, you've got Moser, like you said. So if he comes back into some form in reserve grade, then he can come up into hooker. There's people I'm forgetting, but basically the way I see it is they still have some people to come back, and I think that, to be honest with you, they will be in a decent spot once their players are back. I think they'll be fine. They'll make the 8 for sure, guaranteed.
Yeah. Wow, that's a big. I'm surprised you can call that so confidently. But from what I'm seeing at the moment from the Broncos, I can't sit here and say I can guarantee people they'll be a top 8 team. I feel like there's a few things going on there at the moment, and the personalities at the club still. I think Madge is in. He's got a huge job ahead of him, and I do agree to a certain extent that I feel like his coaching style now suits that more short-term coaching. I think that Blues job was perfect for him. I'm still surprised at how quickly he left that job after doing what he did last year and working so well with that. He works well with the Kiwis and did a great job there as well. I know he sees himself still as a club coach and a career coach, can do all that sort of thing. But like Trav's right, like he has been sacked from the last 2 club gigs he had. He obviously failed there. Like I know what Jake's saying about the talent and things like that. Look at that Broncos roster. There is, I reckon, any coach in the NRL right now, and most coaches that aren't coaching at the moment, would love to get their hands on that Broncos roster, and they would be coaching them, and they'd be getting some wins and things like that. I think the whole problem with the Broncos at the moment, and it was the problem last year, and it hasn't fixed up, even though they've got this hard-nosed coaching at the moment, is they're a team of sooks. And I'm sorry to say it, but I'll just say it as it is. They're sooks. And if something doesn't go their way, they sook about it. And there's clearly leaks going on because way too much in the media is getting spoken about certain players not being happy with Madge. Last year, they weren't happy with Kevy. Like, when are you just going to shut up for a while and actually play football? And like people have said, the Broncos are a powerhouse of a club. There is absolutely no excuse for them to be going, what is it now, 20 years plus that they haven't won a comp? That's inexcusable for a club of the Broncos' stature in this game. They have absolutely dominated that city since their inception, really. They've finally got a next-door neighbour. But I just cannot believe that they are where they are. Like, they got the Carrigan and Haas, for instance. They have been killing it for the Broncos all year. You cannot have a better better platform here than those two. They've been the best 2 combination in this season. What are they going to do when they're both away for Origin? And what happens if they come up from that and get an injury or something? There is no way in the world they'll make the 8 if they have those 2 out for any period of time. They'll struggle to win a game without them.
That's pretty valid.
I think the Reynolds and Hunt combination as well hasn't worked. I know they went out there and they paid for Hunt and got him home and there's all that fanfare about it. It clearly hasn't worked. They've been almost butting heads on the field, it feels like, the whole time, where I think at the start of the year there was this fantasy about it and this romance about it could work, but it hasn't. Walsh has been half the player since that knock in Origin, and that's obviously going to happen when you're just naturally human and you get hurt. Yeah. But there is some deep lying issues there at the Broncos that I can't be with you there, Jake, in terms of saying I reckon they'll be a top 8 team. I think they're going to struggle.
Maybe I shouldn't have said it as a lock, but I do think they'll at least sneak in. They're gonna be in there. Yeah. Look, like the idea of depth has thrown me, like you just said. I didn't really consider it in the sense that I just, when I put forward, I kind of assumed full strength side, right? So in my brain, I'm going full strength side, they make the 8, guaranteed. But in terms of forward depth, yeah, they're a little bit limited there for sure. I think that if Ezra Mam comes back and kills it this weekend, he stays. I think, obviously, I know Hunt's not back for a little bit, but I think he'll stay in that side. And I think if he can crush it from there, Hunt comes back into hooker or 14.
Yeah,
that's obvious. Yeah, for sure.
Jake, who's a full strength tied? Yeah,
yeah.
Full strength side. Yeah, who's been missing? Who's been missing?
Ezra.
Well, he got suspended, and they
Reece
wanted
Walsh.
to play.
Yeah, but He's been missing. That's still not a full strength side. He's been missing. Reece Walsh has been missing for the last 5 games. In those games they've been losing,
and he sucked before that.
I'd argue they've actually Cobbo's been better than Walsh.
Cobbo's been way better than what Walsh was.
Cobbo might have been, but that means that they're losing a strike player on that side. Whereas if Walsh comes back, they gain that again. So and then same thing with the Ezra Mam. With Ezra Mam coming back, it frees up Ben Hunt to play a more utility role or a hooker role. So I'm saying but
you're making it out like they've got such a massive list of injuries and with a full side, right? I think that they've actually
it's not massive, but they're key players. It's not huge,
but everyone's got key players. Have a look at the Storm of missing bloody Harry Grant and what they've got, and that's not the only team yet. We're not having these issues.
We've talked about this last year.
I don't think that's an excuse.
No, and I'm not saying it is an excuse, but I'm saying with a full strength side, they do make the 8 easily, in my opinion. When they are full, I'm not saying that it's an excuse. There is no excuse for doing badly because you have a player or 2 out.
Currently, they've lost 4 out of 5, and they're still sitting in 7th. So, I mean, it's hard. It's harder for them not to make the 8 than make the 8, but with the way that things are going. But yeah, I don't know. I've kind of lost faith in what they're doing. I think.
Well, can I also say that if they had and I'm sorry to cut you off, but if they had won that last game, and I know I just said that they didn't win it officially, but if they hadn't have switched off in that last bloody 3 seconds of the game, they win that game, right? That puts them up to 6th, and the only difference is
they would have lost anyways.
They lost had the field goal. What are you talking? What are you on about?
No, Latrell wouldn't have scored the try. What do you mean?
But they still would have won the game. Latrell had the field goal that would put him ahead.
Oh, true. Don't worry. Yeah. Ignore me. I'm just having a snap.
Officially, can we edit this? Can we edit the last 7 minutes of Jake's rubbish? Like this is made.
No, just keep it in. Just keep it in because it's a bit of fun. I'm just here to rage bait Trav. That's all I'm here for.
You're not rage baiting me. I don't care that much. But yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
Jake's done for this one. I think he wants to move on. He's embarrassed.
No, I don't know. Look, I still think full strength side they go in to make the 8 for sure. But is what it is.
I think that's a cop out these days. Nothing that actually goes back to what I was saying about them being sooks. They've had a couple of players out. Like Brett's right about they lost to a very understrength South Sydney side who hasn't had their full strength side all season and are sitting in the top 8. It's not an excuse, and they've got incredible depth there at the Broncos, and they have had incredible depth for years and upon years upon years. They've got some of the best young talent in the game there. It's just something isn't working. So
no, you're right. In that mentality. I think in that mentality, they are sooks on the field. Like I think that's their big issue at the moment is if things aren't going their way on the field, that's them done. They need to be up ahead. They're flat track bullies, in my opinion.
Without being bullies because they don't win, but they play like Tinseltown, right? Like and that's how they treat themselves. It's this Brisbane mentality where they can hide but walk around and feel like that they're God's gift to mankind, and no one gives a shit about them anymore. Like literally, they're not even the talk of the town up here. Like we talk so much more around the Dolphins and the other clubs in Queensland than what we talk about them. And the other problem with the Broncos is that the Brisbane Lions in the AFL they won a premiership last year. So and they're doing well again this year. So it's overtaken. That whole club's overtaken and it shouldn't be. The Broncos, this is Broncos town. Brisbane is Broncos land and they've stuffed up majorly. I think Madge has made some big mistakes too in terms of, and others have said this here in the comments, but I think he's got people playing in the wrong spots. Like what you said, Joel, the Carrigan-Haas combination at front row forward is probably the best 1-2 punch in the comp. But I actually think that that's actually hurt them because then who did they put in the 13 spot? They put freaking Hetherington and bloody what's the other dude's name? Like soft as butter who couldn't even get it just does Guskeshki, the Goz right?
He was there. Or something.
Come on now. So put bloody Carrigan back to the 13 and bring on Ricky or bring on all these guys that could be in their forward that they've got. Like, they've got bulk loads of that. Sort your centers and your wingers out. Like, how have you had Mariner sitting in the Magoos for so long? The dude's a try scoring machine. Yet you had him there doing that, and then I just don't. I don't like what Madge has tried to do. He's tried to shake things up, and it worked early, and definitely worked early. But yeah, like the shake up is wrong. He stuffed it up, and they need to go back to some of their simple things.
Would you have? We'll move on. No, sorry, mate. No, sorry.
I was about to say, I'm moving on from the Broncos. I've spoken way too much about him now. So
Agreed.
There's some calls for us to talk about the Eels, but there's not. I don't have much to talk about with the Eels. There is one topic that Jake wants to just push into the run, which has thrown me completely off, and I don't like that. But we will do it anyway. We'll go with the flow. This whole 100% footy thing that happened last night. Monday night they record. Apparently, Isaac Moses, Mitchell Moses' manager, and I think uncle or something as well.
Yeah, I think he's
obviously Michael Chemis was supposed to, from the Sydney Morning Herald, he's on that program as well, was supposed to be on that show last night, and they called into Channel 9 and said Mitchell won't be attending that program if he's there. Obviously, there is some stuff that has happened. I don't know the stories at all, so I can't even go into any scuttlebutt with you or let you know anything. I'm actually keen to listen to their Triple M podcast tomorrow, which they'll probably go into some detail there and explain what's actually going on, because that's when Michael is on. But Jack, I know you wanted to talk about it. I'll just throw to you because I don't have that much to say about this, to be honest with you, until I hear from at least what Michael Chambers has to say and what it is that's made this happen. But I think it's pretty childish in a way, and I'm surprised that Channel 9 bent down to the demands of a player agent when there's that many other players in the comp that could have easily probably called up and had him come on the program.
Well, and that's why I wanted to talk about it. We've talked a few times about player agents having too much power in the game of rugby league and with clubs. Now at this point, they're getting to journalism. Like, they're getting to journos and like media. How's that happening? Like, it's unbelievable to me that Channel 9 actually bent the knee here. How is one player so important to have on that they're willing to sacrifice one of their staff? Like, I actually just couldn't get behind that, to be honest with you. And I love Mitchell Moses, but it doesn't make sense to me that they would just sort of bow down like that. Weidler had to come on. Danny Weidler had to come on, and I read something where he wasn't happy with that. And then at the end of it, all the journos sort of were just fuming at 9 and that for bowing down to that and letting it happen, because obviously they have execs that tell them what to do, kind of thing. And they were absolutely fuming for it. So I don't know. I just wanted to talk about sort of with you guys is how far are we going to let player agents go?
They're taking over. They're taking over more and more by what it seems like. And I know we all hate it from a club point of view. They put clubs basically in a corner, hands behind their back, and they're having more and more view. As I said, I'm just shocked that 9 didn't just put their foot down here and go, no, this is what's going to happen. Not happy with it. Off you go. Because at the end of the day, it's exposure for Mitch. It's exposure for him at a time where he's wanting to get picked in the Blues as well. It's an opportunity to be there for the Eels and stuff like that as well. While they're not doing too well, to get on the front foot, talk to the fans and things like that. So, look, get over whatever's going on for a 15-minute stint, which is what it was in the end, and just talk. If there's a hard question or two asked, answer it, or just do the typical media take where you just say, oh, sorry, can't answer that one at this time, or whatever it is. But, not a great look at all. That's sort of, what I've got to say on it.
Yeah, that's all I had to say on it. I just thought it was interesting, and it was very recent, so I thought we should bring it up.
Yeah. Trav, anything? Or are you happy to move on?
Yeah, happy to move on. I actually don't know anything about this, to be fair, until just now. So yeah. I haven't seen it. Been working.
Yeah. No, alrighty. Let's move on to what the headline is for this podcast or this show tonight, which is Origin. So what we're going to do for this one, I'll read out what I've got at the moment in terms of the rolling Origin sides that was posted this morning. And then I'll literally just throw to the boys as we go, and they will let me know any changes they would make. They don't agree with that player being in that position. We'll have a quick discussion on that. We'll move on. And by the end of this little period, we'll have our sides selected for both New South Wales and Queensland. And then for, obviously, you guys in the comments, please get involved. We've got those tickets to give away as well. And we'll give those away to whoever ends up winning, getting in the comments and just getting involved with the show. So still looking for a few out there. Sounds like Rob, this podcast is a bit dud, lads. Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry to just let you down. Get involved with the comments. Let us know what you want us to talk about, mate. Give us your thoughts on some Origin sides. So for the Blues, let's go to the Blues first. So for the New South Wales side, at the moment, let's go with the back line first. So for me, James Tedesco, I've got as the fullback. I've got Brian Toad, Jacob Kraz on the wings, and I've got in the centers Latrell Mitchell and Stephen Crichton. Jake.
I've got three changes already.
Alrighty.
So your centers I like. I want to go incumbent with the fullback. I just think Dylan Edwards, while being maybe slightly out of form, has shown what he can do in big moments and in big games, and with with good players around him. I'd say play him at fullback. And on the wings, I'd have Lomax. To'o just, I don't know, he doesn't look 100% even after that hamstring. Was it a hamstring injury? It just didn't look 100% to me. And then the other person I'd actually have on the other wing is Turbo.
Hang on a second. So you're saying that Toad hasn't looked himself, even though he made a few line breaks on the weekend and had a couple of really good runs and he's back, yet you're going to pick a guy who hasn't even come back to play for his club yet?
Didn't he not play? I could have sworn he played last week. Am I wrong?
Who, Lomax? No, you're saying Lomax
no.
you'd pick.
No, yeah, Lomax I'd pick. Yeah, no, Lomax I would pick.
So Toad played on the weekend and actually played a decent game.
Yeah, no. If Lomax is good to come back and he plays through the full 80 of this week, I would pick him 100%.
I'll go to Trav first. Your thoughts on that Blues backline, Mr. Queenslander? Here we go. Sabotages.
My thoughts. I would have Karaz over To'o, just because To'o's only been back for 1 week. So that's where I'd go. I don't mind your centers. Actually, I love the centers in terms of Mitchell and Crichton. I think Mitchell's just raring to go, so I have no problems with that. Actually, I'd probably put To'o one side and Karaz on the other, and I'd leave Lomax out just because Lomax is only coming back this week. So that's probably how I'd line up those four. And then in terms of the fullback, I'm going with form, and I'm going with form over 10 weeks. It's got to be Teddy. That's how I think it would be picked. I don't think that's actually who's going to be picked, but that's what I would be doing.
So 2 versus 1 here for the fullback. So I'm going to lock in James Tedesco for a fullback. I'm doing that.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough.
Sorry, Jake, you got outvoted, and I know Jared's probably trying to jeopardize us here, but got to go with it as the rule. So the wing is, I feel like the wing here is the biggest, contentious sort of spot.
Remove Turbo out of what I've said. I actually reckon.
No. I want to talk about Turbo. I actually want to talk about Turbo because I feel like Tom Trbojevic. Yep, I know the comments have lit up with Turbo talk. We all can probably agree on at least this fact that Turbo, at Origin level, has shown in the past how good he is. Turbo is one of the best players in the game, can turn a game on its head instantly. I think deep down, even though he didn't really select him, I think Trav would be shitting himself as a Queenslander if we do name Turbo somewhere. The question is, I just don't know if wing is his spot. But then the thing is, I love the centers. Like, I would not do anything to the centers. I would not change Latrell. No. I would not change Stephen Crichton, who's the best center in the game at the moment, and probably by the length of a straight or I shouldn't say that because Fimo's in that discussion as well, but I think Crichton is still the best center in the game. Can you trust Turbo to be on a wing? Can we trust him, Drake?
I think so. I really do. I definitely think we can. Like, if you're talking about body type, he's got the body type for it. We've seen he can get up for an aerial, like he's an aerial threat. And with Moses and Cleary kicking, perfect. We know he's powerful enough to score. If he's uninjured and he's fine to go, I'd absolutely pick him on a wing. I'd have no issue picking him there.
Adam's backline is Pappy fullback, To'o and Kraz on the wing, Latrell and Critter in the centres. Trav, deep down, you must have nightmares about some of the things Turbo has done to Queensland over the years.
Yeah, but still Queensland have won most of it. But I'm not
throw that in there.
Yeah, well, you want to throw those comments out, then that's going to come back at you. But I'm not sitting here I'm actually being legit. That's how I would line it up, based off form, based off health, and based off what I think is the best combinations. I would run with what I said. I agree. Turbo is a freak, and on his day can be literally the best player in the competition. I wouldn't put him on a wing though. I think you've got Kraz and To'o. If you're going to go that, I think you need to put proper wingers and in an Origin game. I think that's really important. The centers is okay. I mean, I can hide Turbo in those centers there, but yeah, I just don't think you're putting Mitchell and Crichton out. I think it's just as simple as that. They're your centers and they're your wingers, in my opinion. And unfortunately, Turbo, just based off the way it is, just has to be injured. Not injured, but just can't be picked. It's just the New South Wales have got a plethora of talent that's sitting there on the dinner plate ready to be served. Someone's going to have to be missed out.
Yeah, Jake. So go. You got one more? Got something to say?
I was just going to say, I still argue. I know everyone's saying that Lomax this and Lomax that. I just wanted to say that if he comes, mine is obviously on the proviso that he gets through 80 this week for us. So obviously, if he does, I can only pick him off that. But I saw in the form he had on the wing for us before he got injured, that's what I would pick him. That's all I'm saying. Based on form I have seen from him this year.
We're getting there, Adam. Be patient, brother.
We'll be there. We'll get there.
Okay, let's lock in the wingers. So Trav's voting for To'o and
Kraz.
You've got Kraz, yeah. Jake, I know you mentioned who are you looking? You've got Lomax.
Look, since we know that what's his name? I'll go To'o and Lomax, incumbents.
So I'm gonna lock in To'o's got one wing. I'm locking him in now. So basically I have to decide between, and I'm happy to get persuaded in the comments. I have to go either Kraz or Lomax. I'm going to go Kraz. I just think Kraz's form since he's been back has been too good. And I just don't know. I know what you're saying and I get that part of it, but at the same time, it's a lot of ifs. And who knows? Coming off a foot injury, he might not make it through the 80 minutes. Lomax, and that's not a risk I want to play.
You know who else was off very few games and came into game 2 last year and crushed it? Mitchell Moses. So as long as he's able to come back and play, I have no issue.
We'll let you know. We'll let you go. And just to let everyone know as well, we'll have an Origin special podcast coming out early next week. We're just going to decide on the day. At this stage, it's looking like potentially Monday night, depending on everyone's availability. But waiting for the sides to get named, things like that. Then we'll go a bit deeper into that. Oh, who's the Origin bot? Well, Alan, you might hear a few of these at the moment. Adam, I actually don't mind your hot take, to be honest, because I'm starting to agree. All right, 6 and 7 for the Blues. I'll just say it now. I'm just going to lock in Mitchell Moses and Nathan Cleary, 6 and 7. I've got no idea why some of these so-called experts are starting to say in the last 24 to 48 hours that they won't work or things like that. We've gone through a dynasty where Cooper Cronk and Jonathan Thurston worked so well together, who are both on-the-ball players who demand the ball almost every time there's a play of the ball. They want their hands on the ball as much as possible. They made it work with a player called Cameron Smith, Billy Slater. These are some of the best players of all time, and they made it work. It's the elite level. For mine, Moses and Cleary are the best halves in New South Wales, so they need to be picked. Luai, I don't even know why he's to be honest with you, and it's probably very harsh on him, but I think he's been average at best this year. I haven't been that impressed with Luai at all. I get he's trying a new position. He's got a new team. He's trying to become that organizing sort of player. But I just haven't seen enough from him to suggest that he can push Moses out of that 6 jersey. For me, I'm locking in Moses and Cleary. Trav?
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. Yeah. I think people are stuck in the past, right? They're stuck in what Luai's done and the combination of Luai and Cleary and what they did at Penrith. And so that's the combination. And that's why they're picking it. And I get Moses only played 2 games, but Like it's a different story here. Cleary's going to carry that. Moses will be the sort of second fiddle on the left, I think, and off they go. Like it's pretty simple.
Yeah. Jake, locking it in.
Yeah, 100%.
I agree. We can move on from that one. All right. I know Adam's very keen to talk about this one. Let's talk about the front row options. So the big boys up front. For mine, what was on our post this morning. So I've got at the moment the rolling origin side for the Blues, Terrell May and Payne Haas.
I agree with that.
For mine,
I have no changes.
The four front rows of the comp. So
I have no changes. I would absolutely pick those two as my starting props.
Well, just lock it in.
What about Trav? Well, Trav might have a different opinion.
No, I don't. Like as I said to you before, the team that I'd be picking is the team that I've seen in form, and they're by far and above the two best available front row forwards for you guys. I think it's as simple as that. I just don't see why this is being complicated. I just don't get it. Why is this so complicated? And then, but there's people sitting there saying, well, you've got to have Spencer Leniu and blah, blah. Well, Spencer Leniu can come off the bench for 20 minutes and just dominate and free that up. What he doesn't need to be starting. Mitch Barnett, I just don't think Barnett's been that good this year. And the Warriors have been very good. I don't think that's because of Barnett. So I just don't think, but I actually think Barnett probably could almost miss the game, to be fair. And
I don't agree with you on that one.
But he will. He'll get picked. But I just don't think. I don't see why he should even be starting. He shouldn't be anywhere near it.
I wish my name was Jake Lomax. That's a cool name.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I've got to agree here, Trav, because I don't know why lately, the last 2 days or so, I've listened to podcasts and stuff and watched a few of the shows. Why there's so many people starting to get behind the whole Terrell May not even picking him. I just think that is absolutely ludicrous. He has been alongside Payne Haas, the best front rows in the game all year, and picking them two up front, two big dogs. I know Adam's trying to say he doesn't have that dog in him, but I don't know what you're watching. He definitely has a bit of dog in him, and he can go. So, if there's injuries or something, or if there's some sin bins and stuff, he'll be able to handle it. He has a motor and a half on him. May is one of the first players I'm picking. I'll go as far as saying that. Like, it's not even a question mark for me about picking him.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Absolutely. Anyway, crazy. The hooker, I've got Reece Robson as mine. I think he's found form at the right time of the year. Very happy for him to be playing. Bit of a teaser to perhaps something I do on the bench that I'll put forward. I'm very happy for him to play 80 minutes as well. Trav, Blues hooker, Reece Robson?
No, I think Wade Egan deserves the spot. I think Wade Egan's been enormous this year.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Big.
That's who I think. They'll pick Reece Robson. It's pretty clear that's who they're going to pick. But I actually, going on form and what's happened this year and the way that he's been playing, I like what Egan would bring to the Origin team.
Jay, I'm pretty sure Drinky's a New South Welshman. I don't think he is a Queenslander. So Queensland definitely don't. They might need drink water, but it's not in Queensland, unfortunately, New South Wales, as much as they'd like to think it is. Reece Robson or Wade Egan, or you got someone else at the comments we'll have to decide, Jake?
No, I don't. I was going to make a joke about bringing in Riley Smith, but no. Reece Robson for sure. I think that defensively, he's what we need to lock up the middle. Don't get me wrong, Wade Egan is very talented. He's probably got more attack in him. I don't think that's what we need with the halves we have in Origin. I think we need our defense to be locked up more, so I'd go Robson.
Yeah, I agree. All righty, the back row. So for the rolling side, I've got Liam Martin and Angus Crichton currently in my starting back row. Jake, what do you got?
No, I've got the same. The only change I'd potentially make would be Hudson Young in for Crichton, but I'm not making that change. We're just saying that'd be the only suggested difference. I'd keep Liam Martin in. We know what he does in big games, and then same with Crichton. To be honest with you, we just know what he does when he's in there, so keep them in for sure.
Outvoted already, Trav. I don't even have to go to you, but I will.
I would have had Hudson Young at the 11 and Crichton at 12. That's how I picked it. I'd have Martin coming off the bench.
Oh well, Jake, what are you locking in? You got the 11 spot. You were tossing it up. Hudson Young or Liam Martin?
What? Wait, I had Liam Martin. Well, I had Liam Martin and Crichton, so then those two. That's what I'm sticking with. I'd be happy to see them start.
Yeah. All right. Sweet as. And I've got the lock. I've got Isaiah Yeo at the moment. I'll just put him at lock and let him do his thing.
It's not even a
There's no other
conversation.
option. Yeah, there's no other option. There's no point.
Well, he did go off the bench last year, and he did a great job at it. But of course, we don't have
because
Murray this
we
year.
had Murray. Yeah, the only person I'd swap him for is Murray, and we don't have him. So,
can I ask you this one? Would you be tempted to start Barnett at lock to have that aggro up front in the first 20 and then bring Yeo off the bench?
He hasn't played lock in a while, has he? Or has he been playing lock club level? I think he's been playing
Clark's been doing it, but for New Zealand.
No, I'm willing to give Isaiah Yeo the benefit of the doubt with a new team around him. Yeah. Bit of a different team than what he's played with.
Alrighty, the bench. So I'm gonna go the 14 first because I think the 14 is a little bit of a talking point. On this list, I've got Connor Watson written down. I personally am actually going to change that from my own rolling side. I'm actually going to be putting Ryan Pappenhausen in. I just think his form is unbelievable. It's too good to refuse, and I just simply make it work. I'm happy, as I said, to go Robson, an 80-minute hooker, put Paps on for a 20, 30-minute stint, just roaming, really. Like, he's that good at the moment. I'd actually put Ryan Pappenhausen as 14. Trav, I know you've been a huge Connor Watson fan.
Yeah, Connor Watson offers so much more utility. Ryan Pappenhausen has been a freak, absolutely. But I don't think Ryan Pappenhausen is made for an Origin, man. I just don't think he's got the body for it, nor do I think he can play Origin. I just think he's a liability come Origin and put him on the team. I'm a Storm fan. I freaking love Pappenhausen, pay the man millions, and I'm happy with it. But I just don't think he fits the Origin list. And when you put him at 14, you need him to be a utility. And I don't think he is. He's not a utility. You're picking him because he's just been a monster at fullback for the Storm for the last 10 weeks. That's why you're picking him, because he's been awesome. It's a different kettle of fish coming on as the 14 for Origin.
Yeah, if you're not going to pick him at fullback, I assume you're saying, Trevor, if you're not going to pick him at fullback, don't pick him.
I'm not picking him. I'd pick him as the 18th man. I'd pick him and have him in the squad, but I wouldn't be picking him as the 14th and as a utility role. We know how important that utility role is. Connor Watson is literally a utility and probably the best utility in the comp. So, I mean, he can go in and play that at the hooker role. You can put him in the halves. You can put him in the centers. You can put him on the wing. Like, it's as simple as that. So, like, I definitely would have Connor Watson simply as the 14th. I just, again, this is that. Why are we complicating this?
I am on your side,
Adam,
Trav. Connor Watson.
What do you want about?
Yeah, they are not the same build at all. What are you talking about? I am absolutely on your side, Trav. Connor Watson has way too much utility value. Unfortunately, Paps is just in with the best other fullbacks we got, and unfortunately, I just don't think he fits the bill. Connor Watson, for sure.
I've been outvoted, guys. I tried to put Paps forward. I believe I just love the X factor. Like, Queensland done it with Ponga, and it worked. So I just don't understand why it might not work with Paps. He's got the same skill set.
I don't think that works. I don't think they won because Ponga came in. I think Ponga came in and existed on the field for a bit.
No, it's different. But yeah, I actually think, to be fair, Pappenhausen deserves to be in the squad. Has to be picked in the squad somewhere because of what he's been able to do. And he should be leading the Dally M, in my opinion. But that's a whole nother argument. But he's the most informed player, but sometimes, and as much as I'm saying about form, and I've picked my team based on form, for you guys for the New South Wales team, you've also got to pick the body type and pick what the game is and what's going to happen, and perhaps just doesn't fit that build, in my opinion.
The last three bench spots I've gone Hudson Young, Mitch Barnett, and Spencer Leniu. Jake, any changes to the bench?
Yeah, one change, and I know that I'm going to cop some backlash for this, but I am going to say it anyway. I agree with Leniu. I agree with Barnett, but I would still keep Olakau'atu.
So you wouldn't
you're
pick Hudson Young.
Hudson
Is
Young.
that what you're saying? Yeah. Which
I'm saying, unfortunately, I'm saying, yeah. I know it's hard to explain. I don't believe he brings what he brings off the bench. I believe he either starts or he doesn't. Does that kind of make sense? Like, I know this sounds dumb.
It does now. It doesn't sound dumb. I get it now, but yeah.
He only brings what he brings if he starts. If he doesn't start, I don't pick him.
Trav?
I'm a bit lost now because half my rowers and forwards and things like that have not been picked, so I don't really know where I'm sitting at. Off the bench, Spencer Leniu has to be there because we didn't pick him. Hey, I would pick Hudson Young. And who was the other one that you said?
I said Barnett.
Barnett. Oh, see, now you're picking between Barnett and Olakau'atu. I'd go Olakau'atu.
Oh, I've been outvoted. Olakau'atu. Cannot believe there is no Hudson Young after the form he has been in.
I put Hudson Young.
I know, and this is why I'm saying it's a really,
so you're going Hudson Young. You're going Olakau'atu over Barnett.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Oh, you've been outvoted there. So Young is in. That's all right. I'll take that.
So Young's in.
I had Young starting, and then I would.
We're saying Young's in, Olakau'atu's in, and then Spencer Leniu. So we're saying Leniu. Young. Okay, so no Barnett. Yeah, you can play Olakau'atu as a prop. That would work.
Just before we move on to Queensland, Jake Trbojevic, obviously captain last year, didn't get many minutes in any game, but it worked because obviously they won the series. A bit of talking points starting to happen around the fact that he's such a nice guy. Everyone loves him. Simply for he hasn't been there this year. You just with the middles and the edges that we've got and they're coming off the bench, I can't pick Jake Trbojevic at all. I know it may have worked and he's huge for the camp and things like that. You can still have him part of the camp, put him in the squad, put him as 19th man or something, have him around. I can't put him in, Joe. I know your namesake, but I just can't do it.
Yeah, no. I just think there's too much other talent around. And last year they were fresh, but they've actually had experiences in the Origin arena this time. And there you go. I think he doesn't make it.
Time to get Trav excited. The Queenslanders. So fullback. I've got in this rolling side, I've got Kalen Ponga. And then the wingers, Selwyn Cobbo, Xavier Coates, centers Val Holmes and Hamiso Tabuai Fido. Mr. Queenslander, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I've got. I'm just looking at my list now. I've got Kalen Ponga at the 1, Coates at 2, Holmes 3, Hammer 4, Cobbo 5. However, I'm finding it tough not to pick Talangi, but yeah.
You said exactly what I've said. Yeah, you said the exact same I've said. I agree with that completely.
I'll tell you what, I should be a selector. New South Wales, Queensland, whoever you are, just me on board, not me on the board. Give us a message. I got the halves. I've got Munster and Cherry Evans, but I'll tell you what, as the hours tick by over the last 2 days, I'm more firming on Dearden as a halfback. I know as crazy as that sounds, but the more I look into it, Cherry Evans' form has been nowhere since his announcement. I think he's been below average, but he's the captain. Queensland they don't drop their captain. They don't do it, unlike New South Wales. I feel like Trav's about to say sticking with Munster and Cherry Evans, but I know he's a huge Dearden fan as well.
I'm a massive Dearden fan. You all know that, but no. I got Munster and DCE. Last go for DCE. It is what it is. I just think with the list that we've got, with the injuries that we're having to deal with, we need that leadership as the halfback. And I think come Origin, DCE is just going to be a no-brainer. Again, this is something we shouldn't complicate.
Jake?
I do agree. I would love to see Jamal Fogarty get a run.
Yeah, I said that last week.
Yeah, but at
we
the same
spoke
time,
about this on the pod last week, Joel, and I would love. I'm really glad it got mentioned, and I'm glad that you went that way because I said last week that the exact same comment of they'll pick DCE, but I would love to see Fogarty.
would you have preferred to see Fogarty over Dearden if they had to pick a different halfback?
Yes, because
Yeah,
I
I
want
agree.
that experience. I want that kicking game, and I want that experience, and that's what we need. Fogarty at the 7 would have been. I would have picked him before Dearden as well.
I agree with you there.
The big boys up front, I've got Paddy Carrigan and Corey Horsburgh. Trav, what do you got?
Yeah, I've got exactly that.
Jakey
Yep,
boy,
I'm
I don't
happy
even
with
need to throw to you now, but I will.
I'm happy with that. That's under the assumption that Tino will play a lot, but yeah, I'm happy with that.
I don't think
I
we
hope
even need to assume that. It's just
I
that's
hope
going to
the-
happen.
Well,
I hope the kickoff is at Horsburgh and we get him first run off the kickoff. Absolutely tearing
red.
it into. Oh, wow. We bring that on. Hooker, I've got at the moment in the rolling side of.
Can I just got to he's called Carraz a bum and now he's called Fogarty a bum. I'm not sure what this bloke's been watching.
Let me just take this bloke down. Honestly, he's could potentially be up there as the form halfback of the competition. Like, I'm not even talking that because I love the bloke. Like, everyone knows that by now, but he is right up there in terms of quality this year. He's been sensational. There is no way the word bum and Fogarty, unless he's getting his pants pulled down in the tackle, should ever be mentioned together again because he has been absolutely sensational. And if there was no such thing as Cherry Evans at the moment, I have no doubt he'd be more in the talking points for this halfback jersey than he currently is, and absolutely so. So I've got Harry Grant at the hooker. It has an asterisk because he is in the reserves at the moment, so he's potentially still not fully fit, which is a worry.
Playing. Is he
I think
playing
we'll all
this weekend?
agree. I just said he's been named on the reserve list.
He's number 21.
Sorry, I didn't
Are you listening?
No, I don't listen to you.
Didn't think
Okay,
so.
cool.
The feeling's mutual there. So I'm going to say we'll all agree on Grant, but let's say Grant's out. There's no Hunt. Am I fair in saying Marnie's third string? Are we all going to agree with Marnie being the next man up, or is there someone else that I've completely forgotten about?
No, I'm on Marnie. I think he definitely deserves it.
Trav?
No, Marnie's he would be easily.
Yeah. No.
Would you take him over Ben Hunt as starting hooker? I would.
No, I wouldn't.
I'd take Marnie over Ben Hunt as starting hooker.
Oh yeah, Ben Hunt's not fit.
Yeah, if he was, you said hypothetically, if he was, I'd take Marnie over Hunt.
Nah. Ben Hunt's done it.
No.
Ben Hunt in a Queensland jersey just seems to go to some stupid level that I hate every time. So that Dozer comment from Cam Smith gets me every frigging time. So I just want to get away from that. Oh, Dozer, shut up. Second, sorry, that passion's starting to come out. It's getting closer. I'm feeling it, guys. I'm feeling it. Second row, I've got at the moment. This is where for mine it starts to go a little bit downhill for the Queenslanders, and I'm very interested to hear what others are going to say. Tom Gilbert and Beau Fermor at the moment are my starting second rowers. Trav?
It's such a big sigh. It just comes with such a big sigh. And I look at it and I'm just like, oh, man. Yeah. Oh, man. I agree. Fermor and Gilbert. That's because we've got to have to.
Yeah.
But to be fair, Fermor has been really good the last few weeks, and I think Nanai has been a monster. Oh, Daniel Hooster's just come in. Nanai's been a monster the last few weeks, and so I think there's a place for Nanai. But I actually would like to I actually think Nanai comes off the bench.
Nanai and Fermor play on the same edge, so at the moment I'd have to put Fermor ahead of Nanai.
Yeah, but I think, no, I'm not going to play in that field. But I think Nanai comes off the bench, so I'd like to actually think that Fermor and Nanai would be the edges, and I'd be happy to play Nanai a little bit out of spot. I just think Nanai's got such a good offense and is so good under the kick that I don't think it matters which edge he goes. I think he'll be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I thought
for now,
Fermor was on the left. Is he not?
Fermor's the 11.
Yeah, right. You both just said different things.
He's 12. Oh, look at the Titans lineup. Hang on.
Is he? I think he's been 11.
Yeah.
As soon as I said which side do you both said
He's
he's
Haas
11.
has been playing the 11 for Titans.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
I
I think
agree.
either way, though, we've agreed Fermor or Gilbert, but I think Nano is hard to come out, but I think Nano he'll still get, to me, Nano's there. He's just off the bench.
Yeah.
I'll just agree with you guys because you have to, but I'd actually see Gilbert more as a come off the bench player than Nano. I'd actually see Nano starting.
Yeah, and that's what I said before. That's what I would do.
Yeah, like you could go either way. You could go either way there, but I'll say for the fact that we need to have a bench, I'll agree with you guys.
I don't think Gilbert provides anything off the bench. He either starts or he's on the team. Like he's one of those just goals. Yeah. He'll just keep going. He'll love the bash. He'll be all for that. That's what Queensland probably do have a little bit at the moment. They got a bit of bashing them. They'll just go in and fight. How good. The lock, I got Tino. I think there's no question here. Tino is the lock for Queensland.
We're having a few comments just screaming out that Fermor is left.
Yeah,
definitely.
that's what we said.
And okay, we sorted it right. Cool. And yeah, Tino for sure.
Yeah, you're going to say Yo's a no. Let's not talk about Yo. I think we can't even bother. Not even bother talking.
Goes the exact same way. Yeah.
Dearden 14.
No brainer.
Yep.
Honestly, guys, call me up. Selectors, call me up. The final 3 bench spots, which again is potentially up for grabs in a few different ways for Queensland. I've gone Nanai, Jaden Sewer, and Mo Fotuaika. Trav?
I'm okay with that.
Jake,
myself.
sorry. Go, Jake. Go.
Sorry. I was just agreeing with you. I think that's fine. I agree that's probably who I'd pick.
Because my thinking there is Gilbert would, after the first 20 minutes, goes into a middle role.
Yeah. Shift Nanai up.
Yeah. So I know on paper it's a weaker sort of bench compared to the Blues, but there is thinking behind it. Gilbert does turn into a middle. So
yeah.
Trav?
Yeah, well, I would have brought Cotter off the bench, but that can't happen, obviously. But
no.
So I think come game 2, Cotter comes off the bench. Nanai for sure, Mofo, and I really like the Sewer play. And I didn't think I did have him in my squad, but I didn't. Yeah, I really like that.
As a Blues fan, I'm excited to see him drop the ball over the line. So that'll be good.
It's like a once in a 30, 40 year event, that one, wasn't it? I just think Sewer is Sewer has origin body, origin grunt all over him. And I like that call. So I'm actually going to change it and go Mofo, Nanai, and Sewer myself. Yeah, I agree.
Thanks. Adam's thrown in Jaden Campbell as 14th man. And what are our thoughts around that? I'd have it as 18th man.
Yeah, I wouldn't pick Jade. He's not ready for Origin and at all. I'd have him in the camp, but I wouldn't as a 14th. I would have Dearden way over that, and I also think Kurt Mann is a shout out, and his name's being called out. But I think, and I like it for a short amount of time. I like it for a 20-minute stint, which is all he's going to need to do. And I get why we're saying Kurt Mann instead of Gilbert if we bring him off the bench. So I don't mind that as well. So there's a bit to play out here.
You could move Tino into the front row after the start of the game and then have Kurt Mann come on as the 13 and shuffle in that way. So that could also work. And that would probably mean maybe Sewer then wouldn't be it'd be Kurt Mann getting that spot. Because you'd leave Dearden. Dearden for mine needs to sort of be in that team. So.
Oh, he has to be. Yeah, he's the 14 without a doubt.
JC makes sense as he's the only form player at fullback for Queensland right now. He's not even playing fullback. So
I was going to say, Adam, are you saying you'd pick him at fullback though? Is that what you're trying to say? I don't know. I would. Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't think it's the same reason as we said for Paps though. Like sort of body size and shape. I think he just gets thrown around in Origin. JC.
Trav, when do you know a player's ready for Origin? Shout out to Dave.
Just by the way they play, their body, their experience, he's just not ready. It's as simple as that. Like he's playing in a new role as a halfback, where they've actually locked him in as the 7 this year. Like and he's missed a chunk of it being injured. He's not ready quite yet. And I definitely wouldn't be picking him over Dearden. And he's not in front of DC and bloody Munster.
Well, on that note, we basically ended up locking in what I have as the rolling sides. So very happy with myself. Done a great job. I pat myself on the back for that one. Thanks, guys. I know that over the last few weeks, those posts have been very popular. A lot of people have been having their say, which I love to see. Now let's get into the.
I know we've got something here, but I'm just going to answer Adam. Would you really want Ponga right now? He's such a liability. Ponga's not a bloody liability. Adam O'Brien's a liability in the Newcastle Knights. It's not Ponga.
Yeah,
Ponga's a freak. Now you put Ponga around. He's not injured. There's no talk of him still being a bit injured at the moment. Currently he's healthy. If you put him on that list in front of all those guys or behind those guys, and he's gonna kill it. I'd be afraid of a Ponga in an Origin pit. Don't have a look at his form in club. Wait till he gets a team put around him with a decent coach.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried about Ponga in Origin Ponga, I should say. Doesn't sit well with me. I know he'll come up with a few things. I don't think he actually has been in great form, though. I will agree with Adam about that part and disagree slightly. I don't think it's all like I know O'Brien, we've bagged him out deluxe, and I get it, but I don't think Ponga's actually been in great form either. And that's probably not helped with the fact he's in a putrid Knights team who just can't do anything and just evolves everything around him. So for teams, it's easy to defend Ponga at the moment. I do get that, but again, granted, I just don't think his form is fantastic. It's not ideal. Let's just put it that way. Now, let's get into the fan favorite of the night. This is what you all love to see, and you missed it last week because of someone wanted to chuck a sickie. / he was coming down from Magic Round. He was still up in the bloody clouds. Our draft teams, we are up to the wingers tonight. Up to the wingers. Now, I won't because it's been a couple of weeks, I'll quickly run through just what we've got each team at the moment. And I forget who went first last time, guys. So we're just going to...
You did.
Oh, so we're back to Trav first?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So for Trav's team, before he goes, so he's got Ponga at fullback, Jesse Ramian and Stephen Crichton as his centers, Dearden and Isaiah Katoa in the halves, Uda Kamano and Toby Couchman in his front rows, and Maxi Plath sitting in the hooker position. He has $5.525 million left to spend in his cap, and we've still got a hell of a lot of players to fill. So feels like we're losing money quickly. We're basically the Bears. I feel like we're going to say we're the Bears or P&G coming into the comp, getting ourselves ready for next year. And we are now selecting our wingers. So first winger you are choosing, Trav. And again, we mentioned this last few weeks and you may have forgotten, they have to be on their preferred side. So you can't just if they're picked at 2 or whatever, they have to be on that side of the field. We can't just do whatever we want and have 2 left side wingers or something like that. So Trav, take it away.
Okay, so give me 2 seconds.
Oh, and I should say sorry for the Christchurch Cap Dodgers.
Yeah, that's it, Christchurch. So the number 2, and I want Carraz. And what did I just write down as the numbers? Carraz, and I'll pay $550. I love how you're laughing, but when you start seeing some numbers, have you done some research, my friend? Because you bet you haven't.
I'm having a look now.
No. There is no way in the world he's worth $550.
Is that on Zero Tackle?
I'll go. You know what?
Zero
Just
Tackle
stop,
has
Jake.
him at $350.
Jake,
Zero Tackle has him at $350 till the end of 2027. So
it just has ticks for me.
I'm going. No, just hang on. I'm taking a bid. I'm going $575 for Jacob Carraz.
Ooh. Well, I'll throw my hat in the ring. What have you got? What is this? Is for left side, isn't it?
This is the
575.
Yeah, so you got 575. I'll go 600.
Oh, we're all in on big old Jacob Carrazze. Are you going back on your man, Trav, or are you done?
No, I'm
I'll
done.
go 650.
I put him. You can have him for 650. I put him out there because I was hoping you guys would bid. So let's finally we got a 3-way bid. So I've done my job.
So Joel, you said 650.
650.
No. I haven't said 650. I was about
You
to say
did. You just said you've got 650.
You just said that.
615. I was going to say.
No, you said 650 for sure.
Yeah, I think you said.
Rewind the tapes. Then rewind the tapes.
If you said 650, I'll give it to you.
I didn't say 650. I said 615. That's actually what I wanted to. I was going up small amounts. I'm looking at my cap at the moment. I need to go up small amounts.
620.
Oh. I know you've got that extra. You got that extra bit to spend at the moment, so I'll give him to you. You can have him.
Right.
620K, Jacob Carrazze. Jakey boys, done. So that's your first one done, and it was supposed to be your turn next, but I'll go next because you already filled your spot. Or do we go? Does it go Trav again?
It should be Trav again. It wasn't even my first choice, to be honest. I was going to go with someone else, but then I got dragged into the bidding war.
You got done in Trav,
and I know who Trav's going to go with too, but I'll wait.
At the number 2, for still staying there. Yeah. So I'm actually going to go then. Now that I've missed out there, I'll go Sione Katoa.
Oh, I was wrong.
And I want 450.
He's at least worth 500. Sure.
he'd be on 5, I reckon. He's
currently he's not actually, and he's currently valued at 420.
Sione. Oh no, that's on fantasy. I hate that they do that.
Oh, he's going the Sharks combination. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I feel like 450 might be a little cheap, but I can probably live with it. What's everyone else saying? Not in the comments are helping out.
450. No, they're not in the comments this time. 450. I'm happy to give him to you for.
I'm happy to live with that. I can live with 450 for you there, Trev. Yeah. Out of curiosity, what was your limit? I know you do your limits. What was your limit?
I actually went straight to my limit with him because I didn't get.
I think 450 is relatively fair.
Cool.
All right. For mine, I'm going to go. Oh, goodness me. It's not ideal. Not ideal. I don't know what I want right now. I will have. This is. You know what? If I can actually. Oh, spewing, I can't. Zach Lomax for 450.
He's a right side winger. First of all, he's a right side winger.
He's named in the 2 this week. Have you looked at the lineups?
He's named in the 2 every week. He always plays right side next to Penasini. Do you watch the games? He's never played on our left wing ever.
His number.
No way. That's rubbish. You said it's where he plays. I'm not letting you slide with that one. Absolutely not.
Just stirring the pot, mate. Just stirring.
Yeah, I don't care. I refuse. I'm not letting that happen.
I'm glad you went all over that because even at 450 is a joke.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will go Dallin with Lesniak, 450.
I don't hate that.
Thank you.
I looked at his value before, actually.
The former Kiwis captain joined the Warriors from the Bulldogs midway through the 2021 campaign. He's on 850,000 a season, my friend.
What?
Yeah.
Massive overs.
850. I don't think you are. I think you're wrong. I think you're reading that wrong. That can't be right because I've got 480.
What's this here? Well, with his
he won't be the highest paid winger, but that would make him the highest paid winger because Toto's on 625. So he'd be the highest paid at winger. I think Lomax is 650.
You know what?
Lomax
Don't worry
is
about
6.
it. You know what? I'll
You can
sign
do it.
Will
You can do
Warbrick.
450.
Will Warbrick for 400.
You won't because I had him down for 480.
Doesn't matter. You're not in on him. You're already booked.
No, because that's his. No, I think the value of that is about 480. I think. That's
I
why
reckon
had
he's a
him down.
500K player. I'd be willing to give him to you for 500K.
He just said 480. I'll go 480.
Yeah, I'd happily.
Is that his current? Is that his current value, Trev?
Yep.
He's gonna have to sign. He's gonna have to sign more to leave the Storm, but he'd have to pay more for him to
I
leave
still
the Storm.
think 480 is good value.
480,
all right, whatever.
thank you.
Keep it at 480 then.
Go back to you now, Jake. It's been you haven't even got a chance yet. Who's your 5?
Zach Lomax. Zach Lomax is my 5. I want him for 700K. He's currently on 650. I want him for 700, 50K more.
Yeah, you can have him for that. For me, I'm not in it.
Far out. You've actually got a really nice backline, eh?
I sure do. And my halves to boot.
Oh, goodness me. Oh.
How's your money looking there? Joel?
725.
Oh, he's bidding. It's a bid.
He has, but here's the thing: is I could screw him over because he does not have the money to spend on a winger like this.
I do.
Pay up. He does have money.
Oh.
It just means he has to spend less on other places, the rest of the spots.
Look, to be completely honest with you, I was willing to go higher than this anyway. So I'm willing to take him on. What'd you say? 725. I'm willing to take him on 730.
Oh, it's gone up 5K. Goodness me.
You never said we couldn't. Last time, when I said you had to go 50s last time, you said, no, you can do whatever you want. So there you go.
Yeah, you can have him 730, whatever. Trav.
I'm surprised you gave him away and you didn't go up to Max is not worth 750. But give me so we're in the 5 now, yeah. So I've got Xavier Coates and 550.
I just looked at him.
Xavier Coates is a left winger, isn't he?
He's the 5.
No, it's just gone off the numbers, man. Just chill.
But you said to me that it's where they play on the field.
It's a team list. It's a number. It's a number.
Oh, right over then. I was going to pick him as my left side originally.
I've just been going off the numbers. I've done it every player that we've had.
500K.
What did you say?
I said 500.
You said I said 550.
Oh, okay.
So you tried to undercut.
Yes, I did. You can. Oh, you can have. Yeah, you can have him. You can have him for 550. Happy.
Cool. Cheers.
For me, my last one, Mark Nwanganitawasi for 350. He'd be on peanuts at the moment. Jake's going to do his little check. Check, Mike, check. 350 Mark.
I'm surprised you didn't go.
No, mate, he's on 900,000.
He's not on 900,000. You're a moron.
Oh, no, 2-year deal worth 900,000. He's 450. Sorry, I scratched that. I misread that one. 450. So what did you say? You wanted him on 350? Yeah, you need more than that.
Who are you surprised that he didn't go for, Trav?
Tuipulotu.
No, I'm not a big fan of him, to be fair.
Oh, okay. Righto.
Not a big fan. Not a big fan at all.
I reckon you need to go at least 460.
Why? If he's on 450, I can go 450. I'm going 450 for Mark.
You guys change it up every week because last time, or the other few times you've gone, well, you have to pay a little bit to sign him from that club. You can't just pay his current value.
Yeah, but it's Mark. He's not like a season pro.
I'm being stitched.
Done.
Yeah, right.
Thank
450 then.
Lock him in. That's it. Done and
I
dusted.
think it's interesting,
Goodbye.
but because hasn't Mark been? No, don't worry. I've seen him named at the centers, and on value, he's been named in the centers.
Well, he's played
But
wing
yeah,
in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, he's been playing wing recently, so that's fair enough. I'm not too mad
Cool.
about that. I can live with it.
I'm
Lock
stoked with
it
that. Good
in.
job.
Alrighty. Time to just get to a couple of the questions. If you have any questions, you're still around, guys. Normally that segment goes off its head. No one. I don't know if our comment section has stopped. I don't know what the hell's going on there, but get your questions in. I will go to our Instagram comments first, just to check there. And then I will check the old Facebook as well for the stock standard couple of questions there.
We have to pick our next week's position.
Oh, sorry. Next week's position will be go to the lock forward position. Lock it in. Lock it in.
Classic.
Oh, we didn't have a just question is tonight. No worries. Everyone just wanted Origin talk. Ask us a super coach question, Rob. We will get to it. Well, we won't get to it. Jake will get to it. That's for sure. But I'll give Darian Lee Thai, which sorry if however pronounce it. You're winning the 5 votes for the giveaway. So just message the page after this to confirm that you're all good with it. But you have won the bonus 5 entries for the Broncos v Titans silver tickets for you and 3 mates, which will be awesome. Got a few here. Here we go.
Just had to cut in and say thank you. Thanks to Jessica there. You know, she's with me. You guys keep moving the goalposts. You know, keep changing up what we do every week. But I just try to stick to the plan. But it's all
right. Whatever. Marquee forward signing for Parajol. Not much at the moment. To be honest with you, I'd go after Fafita. I'd go after David Fafita for the Eels. That's who I would class as my marquee at the moment, and I'd lock that in. Jake?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Marquee. There's no one off contract that's marquee that I can even think of. So the only person I can think of is him, to be honest.
You'd pay $1 million, yeah? Surely.
Nah. You're not playing like $1 million player. You don't give him $1 million.
Mate, we're getting him for about 400-500.
Yeah, no, 150K in a pack of VB after every game.
Alrighty. Here we go. Jess has come in the comments this week instead. So when the trainers water the ball, is it considered hydrating the assets or just trying to make it as slippery as their game plans? Honestly,
Nice.
I did not care about any of this, to be fair. I know there's a bit of uproar about it, but seriously, like a bit of water on the ball. There'd be more sweat on it more than anything would make it more slippery. Like, I don't care.
Like, I understand what you're saying, but it's piss week that the trainer did that. Like, and to do it just before the kickoff, it's piss week. It's sneaky. It's sly. Yeah, I don't like it, to be fair. And the trainer shouldn't have anything to do with it, to be honest. In my opinion, but I get what you're saying. It's probably because there's been no sin bins that we're finding something else to whinge about.
Yeah, agreed.
But it's a good call though, watering the assets.
Yeah, hydrating the assets.
Hydrating the assets.
I like it.
Jake, you got anything to add for that one?
Oh, no, I think it's grubby. Like, I agree that it's grubby. And you know what? There's probably a million different things like that people try to do and whatever, but I just think it's... I don't know. I haven't heard anything about him getting fined or anything like that from it. I don't know if there was going to be like an investigation or what happened, but there probably should be.
Yeah, for sure. Last one for the night. It's been a big one. How did you lads score last week? 680 for Rob. Great score, Rob. Well done, mate.
That is a good score.
Let's go around the room, shall we? Jake, what did you score, Supercoach, on the weekend?
Let me check.
In a round that had big scores based off.
I know. I didn't captain the Paps. I got 1,500.
Exactly.
Cute.
Yeah, 1,500 exactly.
Serious. Nice round number.
Trav, what'd you go?
I didn't captain Pappenhausen either. I got 1504.
Ooh, you got me by 4.
Cute scores, boys. Sorry,
Yeah.
Rob. I actually got 16-8-4. So got you. Thanks, mate. Thank you, boys.
Damn.
Just leading the pack.
Captain.
Thank you very much.
It's literally
Captain
this is a super coach, and I don't want to get too much into what we're about to talk about tomorrow, Joel. But it's literally those who captain Pappenhausen and then those who didn't.
Those who did not.
Simple as that.
Should have followed me in. I told you to see last week. No one listens to me. That's fine. That's it, guys. Thank you very much. As Travis mentioned,
tips.
we have our super. Oh wait, sorry. Yeah, the tips. Let's go through. Hang on, I was signed off. Tips.
I know we have people that listen for the tips. You know.
Oh
His
yeah,
mother.
sorry. Yeah,
Mandy.
his mum and dad.
Come on,
know
guys.
what
Mandy's listening.
What our tips are, not yours. To be fair, I had a shocking week tipping.
Yeah,
Knights
she
versus
said.
Eels.
She said, "I don't know
versus
why we
Eels.
even listen."
I'm going the
Eels.
Knights.
No, I'm going Eels.
Knights, Trav.
I'll have faith.
Knights.
Doggies versus Roosters.
Bulldogs.
Doggies.
Brah.
Finns versus the Wars. I'm actually half tempted to go this game, to be fair. So
It's at
Up the
some
Waz.
Saturday afternoon. It'll be a good game. This is a tough one. I'd love to see the Wars win, but I actually think the Dolphins will get them up.
Dolphins
I'm
barely
going
beat
the
the
Waz.
Eels. Go the Waz.
Wars. Cowboys versus Manly at Townsville.
It's going to be another good game.
Cowboys.
But I got the Cowboys too.
Yeah.
Hey, well, it's a cracking Saturday fixtures.
I was going to
Yeah,
say
it
Cowboys,
is.
but I'm half tempted to go Manly after the narrow loss to the
But
Sharks.
do it.
I'll go Cowboys.
Yeah, weak. All talk you are. The Saturday night thriller, Sharkies versus the Storm at Shark Park.
Free up your
Storms.
calendars, everybody. Saturday is a ripper day of
Yeah.
rugby league. I've got the Storm, but just
In fact, I think every
Yeah.
fixture's pretty good, except for Canberra Titans.
Oh, thanks for that. What's your tip?
I said Storm.
Oh, thanks. Sunday as well, guys. Obviously, no Thursday game this week with the Women's Origin. So everything gets pushed back. So that means we get 3 Sunday games as well. So good weekend of old rugby league, like Trav and the great PVL would say. Broncos versus the Dragons. The first game at 2:00. I'll get the Broncos.
I'm not convinced to tip the Broncos, but I am.
No,
Oh, I'll go Broncos.
Yeah,
They got it.
me
They got
either.
covered.
Raiders versus the Titans. Raiders by
country mile.
20. Yes.
Raiders.
And the last one, Tigers versus the Bunnies. This is a hard one.
It is, but I think that I'm going to go Bunnies. I don't think the Tigers recover immediately from that loss.
Yeah, the fact it's at Campbelltown. If this was at Leichhardt, I would have tipped the Tigers, but Campbelltown, nah. Look at the Bunnies just. Latrell will step up one more time, so just put the exclamation mark on him getting the Blues jersey. Trav?
Oh, I don't know. I'm going to go. I'm going to go the Tigers.
Yeah. Now I can say that's it, guys. Thank you very much for listening. Like it, subscribe, all that sort of jazz. Thank you for tuning in. Tomorrow night is our Supercoach podcast, which we will be keen to rip into. I know I am after a great week. And Our Para podcast for all those Para fans out there will be live from tomorrow at 10 a.m. I'll push it to. So you'll be able to listen to it then. Thank you very much. Good night. Thanks for Jake. Thanks for Trav. Thanks to everyone watching, getting involved. We will see you next week.